Buongiorno, my gorgeous queen. So looking forward to spending this time with you today on a most important subject, the feminine art of manifesting. The feminine art of manifesting is a lost art that we are going to be retrieving today that is just so worthy of all of us women remembering who we are, remembering our power, remembering our connection to source, and living it out in such a powerful, glorious, magnificent way that has us thriving in life and not just existing. So, if you want more of this, stay tuned because this is what we're going to be diving in deep to today. And so much of what I'm talking about here in this podcast series, we're going to be going way, way, way deeper at the Divine Direction events. So this Pleasure in Piedmont episode is sponsored by the Divine Direction events. And right now we are still in the early bird pricing until October 15th. So I just want to make sure if you have not yet gotten your ticket to the event in either Italy in October, Chicago in November, or Miami in December, that you get your ticket today. Reserve it. These are the last 3 Divine Direction events that will ever take place. This is your only opportunity to get in on it. These are small, elite, intimate events so that I can really be with you and share with you the divine direction I've been receiving so that you can apply it in your own life and literally manifest the life of your dreams, plus be in a luxurious environment with moi and so many other cool women. Check it out, divineliving.com/direction. The link is in the show notes as well. And just know there's so much good, literally life-transforming events. You can check out the testimonials from the women who have already come to one of the events.
You've gotten great at divine working, but what about divine living? Welcome to the Divine Living Podcast. I'm your host, Gina DeVee. You're not alone in wanting more. And here at the Divine Living Podcast, you can expect to be part of conversations from women like us who unapologetically dream big and are obsessed with manifesting our most fabulous lives. The conversation starts now.
Okay, so today I am going to be talking about a subject that I am just obsessed with. And it's a story that I have read over and over and over, and I have heard over and over and over, but I have never received it in the way that I have recently. So some of you may have heard me share this when I was talking to the Q Club, and it is the story of the disciples who were fishing all night and caught nothing. Fishing all night and caught nothing. Well, if any of you have ever been fishing, which I have, little known fact about me is that I love to fish. Fishing even for an hour and catching nothing is really, really boring and discouraging. But what we're looking at with this story right now is metaphysically and symbolically. Because we all in our lives, and I'm just going to talk about career right now, but this applies with relationship and health even. You know, when you have worked so hard, you've been so determined, you really, really, really want the result. You even really, really, really need the result to occur, and you are doing all of everything that you've known to do. Right? You're putting in the effort, you're putting in the time, you're working hard, you're persevering, you're pushing through feelings of whatever's coming up, distraction, confusion, getting cold, tired, hungry, any of it. And you're going after, and then the more you're pushing and the more you're working and the more you're staying in it, the more exhausted you get, the more your confidence gets knocked, the more defeated you are, the more you start doubting yourself. Am I even meant for this? Why is it so much easier for everyone else? And you just become this miserable mess. Now, the reason why I know this is because I too, of course, have experienced these times because we've been so trained as humans and so brainwashed as women to work really, 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 really hard. And that's what gets the success and that's what gets the results. But we all have evidence to the contrary. we all know that you can work really, 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 really hard and get zero results. And that's exactly what the disciples were experiencing. They fished all night and caught nothing. That empty bank account, those fruitless posts, those emails that you just feel like are going into oblivion and like they didn't even reach anyone, and doing it over and over and willing to work hard. Part of you is just like, well, I'm just going to brush myself off and I'm going to smile and I'm going to be happy even for the other people that are just, slaying it right now. And maybe one day my time will come too. And all of that stuff that has been put on us women of what a good woman is. And yet Jesus comes by in the morning and says, cast your net on the right side of the boat. And when the disciples followed that divine direction, that instruction, first of all, they were resistant because they're like, we've already done this. But when they followed the divine direction, not just doing what they've already done, when they follow the divine direction from a place of openness and a new consciousness, they cast their nets, and the nets almost broke because of the multitudes of fish that they caught, the multitudes of abundance, the multiplying of what they received based on one simple effort, not a whole bunch of work. Following divine guidance, following the vibration of the higher level consciousness. And so I have such a heart for women these days. I always have, but more deeply than ever. I see you, I'm watching you, and especially you mothers, like you're just giving so much to everyone else, and just with such big hearts and so much openness and so willing to sacrifice and do the work and stay up late and not pay attention to your own desires or even your own needs half the time. This isn't actual spirituality. This isn't what we are asked to do. This isn't who we're asked to be. What Jesus is asking here is put your net on the right side of the boat. Place your faith and your belief in the right level of consciousness. And then take the right action to receive more abundance than you can barely handle. That is what we are seeking here. That is what we deserve. This is what real spirituality is really about, is being the vibrational match of the very specific desire. Now, this kind of used to frustrate me because I'm like, what does it be the vibrational match? Okay, so we've been taught to think it and to see it and to feel it and to believe it as already done. And when you are not distracted with the past, when you are not overwhelmed with your physical perceptions of perceived lack, that email response rate, the post response rate, the bank account level, whatever this world data is showing you. If you put your faith and your belief and what you think everyone else has told you is practical and probable and predictable in that, then yeah, you're going to be depressed. You're going to be stressed. You're going to be filled with anxiety. You're going to have your solar plexus gripped at 2:37 in the morning, waking you up in fear that you're not good enough, that you're not going to make it, that it's never going to work out for you, that you're never going to get the breakthrough, that it's not going to happen. Or you can be in the vibration of the desire. Be in the vibration of the desire. Or you can put your faith in the unseen. You can take the power of your words. In the beginning was the Word, and take the power of your words and impress them into the universe to make your word manifest and make the unseen seen. If you switch from, I'll believe it when I see it, to, I believe it and then I see it. I believe it and then I see it. And so this creates a different experience. It's this that creates a different outcome, not working 20 hours a day. If working 20 hours a day would have worked, you'd be way further ahead than you are right now. Because you've worked really hard, a lot, repeatedly, again and again and again. Working, quote unquote, hard is not the answer. Now, I don't want anyone to do like a spiritual bypass here either. This is very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? This work is very active. So it's not passive. It's not just, well, let me think a nice thought and then move on. This is really owning and cultivating the power and the consciousness within you to make your dreams manifest from a place of consciousness, not running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Knowing that seek first the kingdom of heaven, seek first the higher consciousness, and then all of these things will be added unto you. So if you seek first toiling away at hard work and believing in that, at best you're going to get exhausted, even if you do get what you want. Most likely you won't even get what you want. If hard work alone were the answer, I would have been a multimillionaire when I was studying to be a psychotherapist or in my first year of running my business. I worked 2 waitressing jobs going through school. And then after I got out of school to pay off my student loans, I was bussing tables at Morton's Steakhouse. I was a therapist by day and bussing tables by night. I was working really, really, really hard. My first year in business, I would get up at 6 o'clock. I would do my morning routine until about 8 a.m. and I would work solidly until 8 p.m. 12 hours a day, every single day. I wasn't fooling around either. I was like working 12 hours a day to get to that first $100,000. Today, that is not my reality. And yet I make millions. There's a difference in consciousness. There's a different level of belief. There is a different vibrational match that I've gotten myself into. And as I am growing also, I must get to the higher vibrational matches. I must leave behind my own limited thinking of where I'm at to get to the next level also. I have just become unavailable to do it by working 18 hours a day or 12 hours a day or even 10 hours a day or even 8 hours a day. Because I've placed my belief in something different than manual hard work labor alone. There's effort that will go in, but it's joyful. And even when you put in long days, it doesn't feel like work. I put in long days, like at these Divine Direction events, I'm up early doing hair and makeup and praying and preparing and meditating and all things. And by the time I get done with the entire event and a team dinner, it's, whatever. I'm waking up at 6 a.m. and I'm not going to bed until after 10 p.m. and I'm working most of that time, but it doesn't feel like work. And as all of us are moving forward and getting out of this small little thinking that people have taught us that we need to settle for baby amounts of money and skimpy little results, I want you to think bigger for yourself. I want you to leave behind the small limited thinking that you're just trying to beg for enough money to pay your bills, or you're going to do what you really want when ... The kids go off to college, you've saved up enough money, there's enough time left over. If you want the bigger fish, you got to move into the deeper waters, because that's where the big fish play. We have got to get out of the shallow waters, the little shallow waters of our thinking, where our expectations are so small, when there's this grand, huge, amazing life available for each and every one of us, because that is God's promise. That is spiritual law, and spiritual law is always guaranteed. Whatever law you're living by that has told you that you can't, or that you need to wait, or that that's too much, or that's too expensive, or that's too big of a dream, or it's going to take too long, that's the shallow waters of your mind. And we all have read enough of the same books and attended enough of the same seminars that we know that we are the ones keeping us in any form of lack or limitation. So together today, let's leave these shallow waters and move into the deep, because that's where the big fish are. That's where the big, big fish are. That's where the big, big abundance is. And that is what you came here for. You are a queen. And as you open up to your big, gorgeous, abundant thinking, you're going to start asking for more. You're going to start believing for bigger. You're going to start being so committed to being the vibrational match of the bigness, not the smallness and the tightness and the constriction. We've done that. It's boring. It's boring. It's boring. It's boring. It's over. It's over. It's over. Or let it be over. The shallow waters, you've done it. Let's see what the big, and you don't need to be scared. You are equipped for this. You are a queen. You are a child of God, and you have the power within you to create your reality. So let's create realities that are way more expansive, way more impactful, that have us shining our light way more than ever before, or that we ever could, from the shallow waters. And with that, let us pray. Dear God, thank you. Thank you that your ways are so much higher than our ways, that your thoughts are higher than our thoughts, and that your way of bringing us the blessings of our desires and manifestations is so much different than how we've been taught they're meant to occur. Let us each claim and declare and decree our worth, our value, our capability, our importance, our availability for the bigger life. Because we know that with you, all things are possible. And we get that we've got to leave behind the smallness and the lack and the limitations and the shallow water and all of what's familiar, and go with you into the deep. We are asking today to be guided for what the right side of the boat is for us. We are asking today to be so clear and confident in the consciousness of the desires that you have given us, and that we place our nets on the right side of the boat, and we ask for the level of abundance, and we decree and boldly declare that our abundance will be multiplied to such a degree that our nets will almost break. We open ourselves to receiving. We declare this feminine, spiritual art of manifesting is the way we do life. And so it is. And so it is. I'm telling you, loves, this is good stuff, isn't it? This is what I have been studying. This is what I have been obsessed with. And this is what I'm going to be pouring into you for 2 solid days at the Divine Direction events. So make sure you get your tickets. We kick it off with a white party because we love glamour. We kick it off with a white party. So some of you have been asking why the events say they're 3 days. So the white party starts at 5 o'clock the first night. So we do a little soiree and we get to know each other and, kind of do a little cheers with some bubbly, sparkling water or champagne, whichever your choice is. And then we go into 2 full days of completely transformational space. It's just what happens when you're in the room. And I'm going to be sharing with you so much of the metaphysics of Christianity, of what I've been studying. And the reason why I'm so excited to share this with you is because, for any of you who have been listening to me for a minute, you know that I was in a very dark night of the soul earlier this year. And then for so long, I was in that world in between worlds. Well, I'm not in the world in between worlds anymore. And this path that I'm on has given me a formula that I know that I am meant to teach you on helping you get unstuck from any place that you're in and get on with your big epic life as well. So to whatever degree you are in that world in between worlds, in a relationship, in your career, in finances, in purpose, and what are you doing with your life and being able to scale whatever you've got going on, or you just need something so fresh and sparkly and brand new, then give yourself permission and decree and declare that you will be in the room at the Divine Direction events. So get your ticket today. The early bird pricing exists until October 15th. So you are still within that window. You're going to save money. You're going to transform your life. You're going to be around all these other really cool women in some of these cool destinations. And P.S., you don't even have to pick just one. Talk about the big, deep waters. I saw women yesterday who were at the New York event buying tickets for multiple locations. Some from the New York event are also coming to Italy, are also coming to Chicago. So this is how transformative they are. Show up in the room. I want to see you, meet you, get your ticket, be around these other women they're not staying in the shallow waters. That is a choice. Shallow waters is a choice. Don't make the excuses that so many women are making. I'm going to do the next one. There's 3 to choose from. Rearrange your schedule. Get childcare. Do not miss out. It's Lake Maggiore during white truffle season in Italy. I mean, that's just, I picked these locations because part of the transformation is the destination. And then the other part is the inner work that we do in the room. So don't let anyone else sway you. Don't let that practical mindset. It's only going to get you so far, but you're here for the transformation, and that's the miraculous realm. Out in the blue deep waters, come join us. I look forward to seeing you there.
Oh my goodness, how much did you love this conversation? Please go ahead and take a screenshot of this episode right now. And I want you to tag me on Instagram and share with me what your biggest takeaway was. I love being in conversation with you, hearing from you, DM me. And I really love getting what is the one big takeaway that you got from this episode. Let me know on Instagram.